Hello everyone and welcome to a new viewer verdict video, and today for your consideration we are going to be playing a little test game of Marvel United by CMON Games. This is the original core box, came out 4 years ago. I think it was 5 years now actually, because I'm pretty sure it was 2020. So it is a little bit older. I picked up this original core box from my channel sponsor for less than $30. I think it was 27, give or take. I thought, why not? Why not give it a go? I'd never backed any of these Kickstarters that CMON did for Marvel United purely because I don't like the aesthetic of the miniatures you get. So I wasn't willing to pay a premium for miniatures I didn't like the look of. If we do end up playing more of this, I think I'll probably substitute in Crisis Protocol miniatures, because really they're just standees. They might as well be standees because it doesn't need miniatures, this game, at all. Mostly card based. And I haven't finished fully setting up so that we can quickly go over how it plays in a second. But for a viewer verdict, if you aren't familiar, watch the video and then take to the comments afterwards and say whether or not you are for or against more of this being on the channel. It is your chance to influence content going forwards for the channel, so please do that. And with that, let's quickly go over what this game is, how you win, and what we're doing. I'll also show you the freaky miniatures. So a game of Marvel United revolves around having this villain dashboard in the centre here. The core box comes with 3 villains. It suggests you start with Red Skull, so I am. It also comes with Ultron and Taskmaster. I think he's the most basic, so that's why they suggest that. And you get 3 main missions that you want to be achieving, and you need to at least achieve 2 of them to be able to wound the villain. Doesn't matter which 2, the order you put them in here doesn't matter. But when you beat 1, he starts acting more often, so he'll get more turns. Then when you get the second one, you can actually start damaging him. And if you're playing true solo, there's a couple of extra rules that I'll go over. But one is also that there's additional lose conditions if you're playing solo, I guess, to make up for it potentially being easier. Either way, villain has a set amount of health. As solo, you must use 3 heroes, so he's going to have 8 health. But we have to clear at least 2 of these before we can hurt him. He has essentially AI cards that will tell him to move in a clockwise direction a certain number of spaces, sometimes not at all. And then he has a BAM effect, which is him attacking the square he's in or adjacent, depending on the character. And he does other things, and his mechanic is he's filling this fear track, and if it hits 20, you lose. So we want to eventually get to Red Skull and just punch him a bunch. But to do that, we're going to have to clear threats, rescue civilians, and defeat thugs. And they're going to be populating these 6 locations. The board comes with, or the game rather, comes with 8, so you randomize and take 6. And I haven't turned them over yet, so I don't know what's where. But first, just in case you're curious of what the miniatures look like, here is little mutant baby Captain America and mutant baby Hulk. And I've also chosen Iron Man as my 3rd character out of the ones you get in the box. Besides them, you get Ant-Man, Wasp, Captain Marvel, and Black Widow. And oh yeah, Red Skull of course has a marker as well, because he'll be moving around the board and is generally a threat to the places he's sitting in. So for instance, bottom right corner here is New York Police Headquarters. So in each of these locations, I'll just hold this up here, there is a set number of civilians that spawn in at the start of the game, so I've got counters I'll put on between takes. There's a number of thugs, and there is an end of turn bonus, but that gets covered up at the start of the game by one of Red Skull's threat cards. Once you get rid of the threat, you take that purple icon, it goes on here as one of the 4 you need to clear to remove that mission, and then you get your end of turn bonus for being in that location if you are. So bottom left corner is going to be Stark Labs. Then we've got over here Avengers Mansion. Top right we have Shield Helicarrier. Top left, Shield Headquarters. Okay, we've got a very thematic board going here. He's attacking the Avengers and Shield directly. And then Times Square. Alright, it's happening over New York, I guess. So these are the play areas that we'll be using for this mission. I'll go put all the counters on and then talk about the next step. So I put down all the civilian and thug icons. There's one last thing to do. Oh, and also I put down the threat icons in the bottom left of each location as well. And that's to actually take the threat cards specific to your villain. So Red Skull in this case, there is 6 cards. I'm just going to shuffle them and we just put them down. I'm going to start there and go clockwise. So top left, Shield Headquarters has Bob, Agent of Hydra. He's got 4 health and does nasty things. So he is going to be our threat that needs to get cleared there. On the Helicarrier, it's Crossbones, okay, thematically apt, I guess. Crossbones is attacking the Shield Helicarrier. He's got 6 health. Then we have Hydra elite troops hiding in Avengers Mansion. I guess they went there to kill them. And then, New York Police Headquarters, we have Madam Hydra. She's got 5 health, and there are health icons. I'm going to put those down in a second as well. Then we have brainwashing civilians, I guess, down in Stark Labs. And I'll tell you about these symbols as well once we get to actually playing, because they're on here as well. And subversion is in Times Square. That's actually ended up being exceptionally thematical, which there's already a story being told, which is kind of nice. So with that down, we are essentially ready to play, other than talking through a basic card. Let me just grab a basic card real quick. So there's 3 types of resources in the game. There's move icons, which are green, red fists, which are POWs, which let you do damage, and then there's yellow, which are heroic, that let you rescue civilians or fill out these type of things to get rid of these threats. And there's also this symbol that's on this Hulk card, which is wild card. You can count it as whatever, and you make a storyline, which is what they call it, which is where you're playing cards, the villain plays a card, you play cards, etc. And because of limited space on the table, all you really need to keep track of is what was the most recent hero card played and what was the most recent villain card played. So I'll probably just do them as piles rather than a line, but I think they want you to kind of like do a circle on the inside, but you'd need a bigger table for that. So I'm not doing that. So with that, onto the solo specific stuff. This is the last bit of setup besides randomizing where Red Skull starts, and then you start opposite him, so 2 areas away. So I'll randomize that in a second here. Actually, if I just grab a d6, I can do it now. We'll call that 1 and just count round clockwise, since the game likes going clockwise. So 4, 2, 3, 4. Red Skull is going to be starting in New York Police Headquarters. That means we're starting in SHIELD Headquarters with Bob up there. And that's just fine. So if you were playing a team game and you had other players, you would have your deck of cards unique to your hero, and you would draw 3 cards. If you're playing solo, you've picked your 3 heroes, you mix together all their cards into one big deck, and then you draw 5 to start the game instead, because you're playing as all of them simultaneously. So that also introduces another lose condition. So the ways you can lose: if any of your heroes get KO'd, and you get KO'd by not having any cards in your hand or running out of cards to draw. The latter is very unlikely to happen solo, but the former certainly can. You also will fail if the Red Skull's fear hits 20 and it's starting on 0. And you will also fail if, what's the other fail condition? I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting one more. What was it? Oh, if his AI deck runs out. That's what it is. That's the final one. That's his AI deck up there. I'll be shuffling that and drawing one of those in a second. So, I've shuffled the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put my deck out of sight here. So my opening hand are these cards, and again, they're basic icons mostly. Sometimes you get them that have special powers, and because you're telling a storyline, as in you're supposed to be placing cards after each other, the cards you place gets the stat benefits of the card that was done before, even if it gets split up by a villain card. I.e., if I played this as Hulk, he's got 1 heroic during his turn, then I played a Captain America card with 2 punches, Captain America would also have access to that heroic to use for whatever. I can already tell by looking at my card that movement is going to have to be Iron Man cards, because these don't have any movement, but you know, that's the strategy that you're having to use. When you're playing solo, you're doing your turns obviously as yourself. Each turn begins by drawing a card and then playing a card. You do that repeated process for the 3 turns you get before Red Skull activates, or the 2 turns he gets, or rather the 2 turns you get if you've defeated a mission. So that is it. I hope that explanation was simple enough. The game actually is really simple. I hope I explained it succinctly enough. And we're down here mainly looking at Red Skull because the game actually starts with the villain going first. That's how every turn starts, but I guess it's the villain springing his scheme. So we need the deck of the cards for Red Skull here. Just give them a quick shuffle, and this forms the start of the storyline. This is him enacting his plot. So this is what he's doing. He is moving 0. This is clockwise. He would move, and obviously normally it would have a number. Discard all civilians from location with heroes and deal 1 damage to each of those heroes. Advance the fear track by the number of civilians discarded this way. There is a singular civilian in the SHIELD headquarters, which is where we started. So discard all civilians from locations with heroes. Did that. Deal 1 damage to each of those heroes. Advance the fear tracked by the number discarded this way. So it's going to advance by 1, and I guess that means I'm losing 3 cards from my hand instantly, which isn't very good. So I'm going to get rid of that one, and I'll get one for each character. That seems like a really bad card to start with. Those just go on the bottom of your draw deck. It's just if you run out of cards in your hand that you extinguish. So not a great start, but that's Red Skull done. Then normally a card would say he does his BAM effect, which is, you know, him doing this, which also activates any henchmen who have a BAM effect, Madam Hydra, Crossbones, Bob, but this card didn't have a BAM, so it's just done. That's the start of the storyline. I'm going to keep the most recent Red Skull card just to the side. You'll be able to see it as long as we're on the left side of the table. And now it's over to me to draw a card, and I guess I'll just draw the top of the deck. It's a Captain America card, so that's the one I've drawn, and then I get to play something. So there's my Wounded Heroes at the top of the table. I am playing this Hulk card to start with. So Hulk activates and he gets to punch twice. I've decided to keep the most recent Red Skull card there, the most recent player card to the left. I know you can't quite see it, but as long as I see it, I'll remind you of what I have access to when I get another turn. And I'm going to punch Bob for 2 of his, was it 4 health? Yeah, so that's 2 health from Bob, gone. And then that is my first turn. Rolls around to my second turn, I draw a card. It is a wild card Iron Man card, and then I decide who I'm going to go with, and I'm going with Iron Man, and I'm playing this double wild card. So not only does he have 2 of any action he wants, he has the 2 punches from Hulk as the most recent card played. So those 2 punches from Hulk, I'm getting rid of Bob, Agent of Hydra, so he is out of there, and that means the first of 4 threat is on the clear 4 threat card in the center of the table. It also means if I stay there, I get the end of turn effect. You may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck to remove 1 crisis token, but unfortunately we don't have a large enough hand to do that. So we still have 2 wild card things left on Iron Man. I will use 1 as a POW to take out the thug that's in SHIELD headquarters. Put that on the defeated thugs. This is the 9 of them we need. And then he has 1 action left, and I'm going to move him to Times Square. He's going to come down here to Times Square and just chill out. So that was my second action. Then my third action, I draw a card. It's a Hulk card. Deal 1 damage to everything else in the location and discard all civilians. I'm not sure about that one. And for this turn, we have access to 2 wild cards because of the Iron Man card I just played. I don't know if I really want to be clearing threat too quickly, but I could actually clear the subversion that Iron Man is on. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm giving him access to a wild card by playing this, and he has 2 previously, and I'm doing what's called 3 heroic actions. You can use heroic actions to rescue civilians. Better if I come over here and show you. Or you can put heroic tokens on these kind of threats. I won't bother bringing them out because I'm doing 3 in 1 turn and clearing this. So that is the second threat gone. End of turn. You may rescue 1 civilian from this location, and it's the end of my turn, so I shall rescue that civilian. So left in my hand are these 2 cards here, and now it's back over to Red Skull. Thanks to how bad that very first card was, we have to be real careful with him damaging us, so let's see what he's doing. I did shuffle it, I shuffled it on camera. So unfortunately it's the exact same card again, but this time there is only 1 civilian again, but it's with Tony, so that civilian goes away and I have to discard a card again. So I'll get rid of that Hulk one because I don't like the look of it. That means I only have 1 card in hand, so that's really really bad. That's some shockingly bad luck there. He doesn't move, he doesn't trigger the BAM effect of anybody, but it does mean we're probably not going to be able to win, but just because of lack of resources. But it is over to my turn again. We'll just keep going. So we draw a card. It's a Hulk card. It's a double wild card Hulk. That's pretty good. What could we do with this? I'm really gun shy about going on to areas that have someone who can attack me, because if I get hit I'm just gonna die. Well, let's see. Crossbones has 6 health, I think, or was it 5? That's the problem with the tokens, I can't see. It's 6 health, good grief. Do I think I can kill him in 1? Probably not. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna have to go with Hulk regardless, I think. No, actually, I'll go with Captain America. So he's giving a wildcard resource from the pool to another hero. If you're playing solo, it's just giving it to yourself, but he can't use it. So the next person has an extra wildcard. So he's got a wildcard from the last card I played and a movement. So I'll move him down here and have him remove the thug with a POW. And that's him done. We draw a card. It's another Captain America card. And that is, oh, double heroic card. Very nice. So, whoever activates now has a wild card, a move, and 2 heroic. I'll activate Steve again and play this. So, the 1 move he gets from the previous card he played, I'm moving down here. So, we're going to have to move down to Stark Labs. Then he has a wild card and 2 heroics. I'm going to use them to get rid of brainwashing entirely. So, if I'm going to instantly lose, at least I made some progress. That's 3 threat gone, and that's that card played most recently. End of turn, you may swap 1 card in your hand for 1 card in your storyline. I want to hold on to the one I have. So that's 2, and then third turn, it's another Steve card I'm drawing. Okay. And with this, we want to... we're going to have 4 heroic. I'm going to have to go with Hulk. So we'll play Hulk. He's got 2 wild cards and 2 heroics from Steve. He's going to use 2 move to go doop, doop. And then he has 2 heroic. He'll use 1 to save the civilian there, and that's it, because he can't do anything with the other one. You may swap 1 card with 1 card from your storyline. I'm going to swap the Captain America card I have in hand with the Hulk card. Sure, I think having the wild cards is better. We might be about to lose though because of the Red Skull turns, so let's just keep rolling and see what we draw, because he'll move sooner or later. Oh, he's moving 4. Okay, so we actually get to talk through an entire card now rather than one that just has text. So you do it from top to bottom. He moves clockwise 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is all the way around on the shield helicarrier. He then does his BAM effect, which is listed here. Deal 1 damage to each hero in Red Skull's location and increase the fear track by 2. There's no heroes, but this goes up from 1 to 3. Then, on the square he is in, you add 2 thugs. On the next one along clockwise, you add 1. On the previous one, you add 1. Is what all that means. So, 2 to his location, there's only space for 1, which means the fear track goes up by an additional 1 due to this, what is it called? Overflow? Yeah, overflow rule. And then 1 in the previous area, and then 1 in the area next to him, which was Avengers Mansion. So, again, because we're not in a location with one of his henchmen, we don't get their effect to attack us, thankfully, and we actually live another day. So, I have 1 card in hand, 1 health essentially, drawing another one. A move and a punch for Captain America. Alright, I might rethink what I was going to do then. I want to move twice though. I'm going to go with Hulk. So we're going to give Hulk the 2 wild cards, and he has 2 heroics from the last Captain America card played. Those wild cards are going to be move, move, and then the 2 heroics are going to fill 2 out of the 3 over here. And I'm not going to be able to do the third right now, so I am going to have to get the tokens out. So 1 wild card, or sorry, 1 heroic, 2 heroic. These are also the ones you use it technically if you're giving other players like a boon from one of your own cards, like the Captain America one we saw. So that has filled 2 out of them. Second turn, I draw another card. It's another Captain America card. It's a move. Well, 1 move is not enough to get him somewhere he needs to be. But Hulk has 2 wild cards. Okay, so we'll go with Steve. I will play the move plus punch, but he's getting 2 wild cards. So he'll use up his own move. He'll use 1 of the wild cards. That leaves him with a punch and a wild card. The other wild card is going to be the final heroic here, which clears out Hydra Elite troops, which meant thugs there needed to be hit twice to die. And that also means that we've cleared this mission. But let's finish our actual thing first. We have 1 punch we haven't used, and we're just going to punch the thug here to do that. And that's this card. So, because we finished this mission goes away entirely. It's gone, it's cleared, it's done. And the villain now acts after every 2 hero cards, which unfortunately means he's activating now because that was 2 hero cards. But at the end of turn, you may draw cards until you have 3 in your hand. So we've actually found a heal. So, there's one card, and I have one in hand. And here's the second card. They're not great cards, I don't think, unfortunately, with only one token on each. But that's my hand, so at least we have some health. But now it rolls around to the villain already. I think our next best bet is just rescuing people, I guess. But worry about that when it comes. We can still clear Madam Hydra crossbones if we want to. It unlocks the bonuses of those squares, stops them potentially hurting us if we move there, that kind of stuff. But Red Skull, he is now activating after 2 activations. He is not moving. Then he bams. Well, there is nobody there to hit, but this goes up by 2. Hydra Insurgency. For each crisis token the heroes have, advance the fear track by 1. We have 0. So we actually got kind of lucky there, and now I get to have only 2 turns before he acts again. So I'm going to try and steer clear of Crossbones and Red Skull until I'm ready to attack him. For the card, oh, first of all, what do I draw? It's a Hulk card. Not a great one, really. Well, I want to go with... Let's go with Hulk, actually. Yeah, we'll play that card. So that gives him a heroic action. The previous Steve card is giving him 1 movement, 1 punch. We'll use the heroic to rescue the civilian that's in Avengers Mansion. So that is our 3rd civilian. And then we have a move and a punch. Oh, I've just realised that would move us on to Lady Hydra. And I don't think we can take her out. She's got, what, 5 health? That's rough. Although we can actually avoid the damage she does by taking crisis tokens. Sure, let's risk that then. So that's the move. The punch will be 1 of her 5 damage. Draw a card. It's an Iron Man card. Ooh, double punch. That would be nice if he was actually over there. Unfortunately, he is not. So, we have a heroic action from the previous Hulk card played, plus whatever I play. I don't really want to move another hero there when I know I definitely can't hurt her. So, I could move Hulk away, actually. Yeah, I could. I will, because he's just going to get hit if I leave him there. So, Hulk, with a wildcard resource, he is using that to... Well, actually, before he moves, he has access to heroic from the last card I played him, so he might as well heal, or rather save, a civilian. Then he'll use that wildcard to run away to Stark Labs to cry to Tony about everything that's going wrong. That's unfortunately 2 turns, so it's over to Red Skull again, so let's just do his card. He's not moving at all, and then he's just, this is a very basic card, then he's just doing his BAM effect. He's not on the same square as anybody, but the fear track still goes up by 2, so it's at 8 out of 20. Nobody's on Crossbones, nobody's on Lady Hydra, Madam Hydra, so nothing happens. So this is my current hand. We do draw a card though, and it's another Iron Man card, so I think we're going to activate Tony. Oh, it's okay, lots of punching. That means I go after thugs. So, we're going to activate Tony for sure. He's got a wild card from Hulk, and I'm going to give him 2 punches. The wild card's going to be used to move him down here to Stark Labs, and those 2 punches I just played. Boom, boom. 2 more thugs for the pile. Remember, we need to do one of these missions before Red Skull can even be hurt. If you do the 3rd one, you just get a bonus, you get to heal. So, that's 1 turn. We draw a card, because we're on our 2nd turn. It's a Hulk card. It's also double punch. Yep, we want to go after thugs. The biggest assortment of thugs is unfortunately in the Shield Helicarrier with Red Skull though. So, do we have a movement? We do have a movement. Let's see. I could move Iron Man over to Madam Hydra, smack her for 2, and start working on getting rid of her. It risks getting hit though, that's the problem. A card is very likely... Oh, but I can take a crisis token instead of taking the damage, so I'll do that, yeah. So I'll play... Cap can move for 1, and he's getting 2 POW from the previous Iron Man card played. He's going to move down here to Madam Hydra. I'm only going to hit her for 1, and I'm going to get rid of the thug with the other punch to make progress on that mission down there. She's slightly reflective. That's 2 turns, so now Red Skull's activating, and we'll just see what happens. Draw his card. He's moving clockwise 1, so I'm glad I moved Steve. He isn't POWing, surprisingly. So he moves clockwise 1. He doesn't POW, which means Madam Hydra isn't. He's adding 2 thugs to his location. which is Avengers Mansion. 1 to the location this way, so 1 here where Steve is, and 1 previously up, which is full, so fear track goes up to 9. Honestly, not bad. So we're staying down here, drawing a card. It's a Hulk card. Move plus punch. We're not going to need that because Steve is giving us a move. I am going to go with the Hulk though. I'm going to give him 2 punch. And Steve's move is getting him over here. We are going to punch Madam Hydra for 2. Because I just want rid of her. And that means she has 1 health left. That's my first turn. Second turn is another Hulk card I'm drawing. Deal 1 damage to everything else in this location, discarding all civilians there. I guess everything else means friendlies as well, right? So we can't really do that with Steve there. That's unfortunate, because actually it would have been really good if Steve wasn't there. Okay, so we just need 1 damage to make sure she goes down. And he's getting a total of 3. Ooh, that could potentially be very risky. Yeah, you know what, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to go with Hulk again. He's going to move, punch, but he actually has 2 punches already. So he's hitting 3 times. There's 1. There's 2. So he has 1 left, plus 1 move. Unfortunately for clearing Madam Hydra, this doesn't do anything. It just removes her. It does unlock this, so at the end of the turn you can actually just get rid of a thug there. I'm not ending my turn there, so that's not any good. And I am going to move over to where Red Skull is. I'm taking the chance. He's got 1 punch left. Still can't hit Red Skull, unfortunately. But he can get rid of another thug there. 1 more thug, and we can actually start hitting Red Skull. That is 2 turns, so it is over to him and his card. He is moving 3. He's running, so 1, 2, 3. He's over in Times Square, which is currently empty. No POW again. He's adding civilians to 2. I guess this, you have to kind of do this, otherwise there wouldn't be enough to rescue. 2 civilians there, 1 civilian up here, and 1 civilian back at Stark Labs. Which I guess does kind of play into that card we've already seen that almost made us instantly lose the game. So this is where it's all coming together. Drawing a card. It's a Hulk card. Oh, that's not a good Hulk card. Well, I am still going to go with Hulk because he's going to get us that second mission unlocked. So, we have a move and a punch from his previous card. I'm giving him Hulk Smash plus a move. You ignore this if it's a follow-up. Like on the next turn I play, you just ignore that and he gets a move. So, that's fine. Deal 1 damage to everything in the location. There's no civvies. It just takes out the thug, which in turn clears out this entire card very gently. There we go. It goes in order though, so that's now there. But that means Red Skull can now be attacked, which is what we're after. So I still have a 2 move and a punch. I can't get to Red Skull, but what I'm going to do is go 1, 2 and punch the thug that's in Shield headquarters. At the end of that turn, you may discard 1 card from your hand to the bottom of the crate. No. If I could draw another card, sure, but no. I need every card in my hand that I can get. So, second turn, drawing a card. It's a Tony card. It's not a good one, though. We have 1 move from the Hulk card I played. We might as well start trying to hurt Red Skull, I guess. So, he'll use the move from the Hulk card. Well, let's come over here, actually. To move here and say, hello, Red Skull, I am now going to shoot you in the face for 2 damage of your 8 health. So 1, 2, and that's a good start. We're almost there. As the camera loses focus, zoom in on the fight that's happening in Times Square, and then Red Skull activates. I want him to move. If he doesn't move, that'll be bad. He isn't moving. Okay, fine. So he's not moving at all. He's staying right there. Then he's doing his BAM effect. So 1 damage to each hero and increased by 2. This goes to 11. And we're going to get rid of that Tony card, which actually goes on the bottom of the deck. Like so. So we have 2 in hand. And then Hydra Insurgency. For each crisis token the heroes have, advance the fear track by 1. I've managed to avoid all crisis tokens. That's not so bad. Nobody's standing where Crossbones is, so no damage there either. Okay, that's fine. Can I do 6 damage to him in 1 turn? That's the question. Let's just keep filming, because we might be able to. We know we're getting 2 punches from the last Tony card played. I'm drawing a card, which is a Tony card. Distribute 2 move tokens to the pool, plus another punch. let's see, so that would be 3 plus a move. I don't know. I'm presuming I'm not allowed to look at the card I'm going to draw. I just know it's a Captain America card. So, yeah, okay. Well, let's take the risk. Let's try and get him out. So I'll use this card. We're activating Tony. We have 2 movement counters in the pool. I have access to them on my next activation. That's fine. Just put them there to remind myself. 2 damage from that. 1 damage from that. That is 3 more health off of Red Skull. That's 2, 3. And that's his turn. End of turn, you may rescue a civilian. I'm just going to do that in case there's another version of that card that hurts you based on civilians. So, sure, why not? And then, drawing. Please have damage on you. No you don't. So we've got 2 movement no matter who I go with. He's going to live this turn. That's the sad truth of it. Alright, well, let's play this Captain America card. I have a plan. We're playing this. He's got 2 move counters in the pool. I'm going to use one of them, and we're going to have to come over here to show you what my plan is. We're going to move back to Avengers Mansion, which is totally clear. Actually, before I go, I might as well use the heroic off that card to rescue a civilian. Why not? He has a punch. I'm not doing anything with that. He's putting a wild card into the pool along with that 1 unspent movement token. And that's all he's doing, but he's ending his turn on Avengers Mansion, so I get to draw a card, which is, again, your health, because it's your hand size, and I currently have 2 in hand, which are not great cards for the record. So, Captain America card next. So that is now in my hand. That's more ablative health. Let's see, I think Red Skull's got, what, 4 health left? 3 health left? 3 health left. That's doable, but I don't think with the cards I've currently got it. Well... oh, barely. Maybe on my next turn. So as long as we live this round. So, he is moving 1 clockwise. He's up in SHIELD headquarters. He is doing his BAM effect. So, Fear Track goes up by 2. He does 1 damage to Hulk. Get rid of a card, put it on the bottom of the deck. Crossbones does nothing because no one's next to him. He's adding 2 civilians here. 1 civilian back where he was. And 1 civilian to the SHIELD helicarrier. Can't go there, so this goes up to 14. So that's actually getting a little bit high, so now we need to start to worry. But maybe this is the turn we can get him. Alright, it's a Hulk card we're drawing. Punching. Deal 1 damage to everything in this location. Discard all civilians there, plus a move. So that would be 1 damage to Red Skull. We could use the wild card for another. And then he would have 1 move. And it would destroy every civilian there, which isn't so bad. Yeah, I think we're going to Hulk Smash. So we'll Hulk Smash. It deals 1 damage to everything there, aka Red Skull. It takes away every civilian there. Does not count them as rescued. They're getting smashed. We have 1 heroic. I technically could have rescued one with the heroic from the Captain America card last played, so I'll do that, sure. Might as well. Then he has 1 move from his own card, and he'll use up that wild card that the last Captain America gave him to do 1 more damage to Red Skull, leaving him on 1 health. Will I move him? The next card I'm drawing is the Captain America card. So I don't really think it matters if I move him or not. I'll leave Hulk where he is, I think. And let's see if we can actually win. So, what Captain America card am I drawing? Ooh, double wild card. I think we can do it also. This should be up here, because it was the most recently played Red Skull card. So I've got 1 movement token in the pool. Let's pull back here, because Cap is a bit far away. And he's getting 1 from the Hulk card just played, so that's a total of 2. 1, 2. Hello. How very thematically apt that it will be Cap to deal the final blow. Double wild card resource. He only has 1 health left, so just need to use 1 to punch him. Ugh. And the Red Skull is defeated despite the really rough start. And that is it for how Marvel United plays. Hopefully did everything correctly. I feel like if we didn't have Avengers Mansion, I probably would have lost thanks to those initial cards that deal damage based on starting with a civilian, and of course it was right at the start of the game, so we started with civilians. Was there any more of those in the deck? No, there was a massive move with a bunch of civilians and thugs next, Then there was that. Oh, so that means also, yeah, there was only 3 cards left, so there was 3 turns left and we would have lost. So, about as good as my first showings on games usually go. We barely won by the skin of our teeth. So, that's fine. Anyway, this was a viewer verdict, just for something to potentially mix in now and then. Whether or not I keep using the mutant models that comes with, or I use Crisis Protocol instead, which are nice and painted, etc. You can let me know that as well if you like, I guess. But I'm not a fan of this style. It's what put me off ever backing the Kickstarters back when they were running. But happy to play more. I can try out the other heroes, try out the other 2 villains, and just go from there. So let me know what you thought, for or against. You can be as succinct or as verbose as you like. And with that, I'll see you next time. Ta for now.